such an asshole.
It's Friday, boys and girls, and Cappy's going to be done. And then I'm going to go work on a car. And it's going to be nice and warm out. Be working in a garage, working with these things called hands. Got little calluses from working out. But I'm going to get all greasy and gunked up and be a man. And I'm not going to be an internet podcasting person. Anyway, we got a question. As long as you got questions, Cappy's got answers. At assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole, yada, yada, yada. Hey, asshole, long-time returning customer, please keep my name anonymous. Per your advice, I graduated from college with no debt and currently have $100,000 saved up. I have accumulated a lot of experience in the realm of a STEM field, would keep you anonymous, but was still unable to land a job in that STEM field. However, I did land a government job doing things that pays under $50,000 a year remote. Job itself is not so bad, but I have to deal with bullshit that I assumed only happened in the corporate world. No. The corporate world is government work. If not, government work is even worse because they hire the people that, there's a reason. Not all government workers are, of course, lazy, incompetent buffoons, but there's a reason they got that reputation is because the private sector needs to make money and the public sector does not. They just need to go tax some more money. So there's not this forced efficiency upon the employees. And over time, if you're competent and effective and efficient, you'll tend to go to the private sector. But if you're a lazy layabout or you want to get by on traits you were born with and go with affirmative action, well, there's entire make-work government jobs that just are completely unnecessary. I mean, I'd even say half the government jobs are simply a welfare jobs program just to not only provide money, but to protect people's egos. So the BS is even turned up, I would say, in a government job. How naive of me. When I mean bullshit, I mean the people who work at this job take the most trivial shit and make it seem like it's a big deal. Like it's a cause to be fired. Trust me, it really isn't. I know, but these people come from the most privileged, pampered backgrounds. They have master's degrees, don't you know? From the age of 5 to 25, they got their perfect little 4.0 and their low IQ degree, and they're professionals. They got their certifications. So if there's any slight disturbance, it's a crisis. So I wish we had another world war, well, half the men died, and there ain't anybody here to protect you guys. So I guess you better form a posse and learn to shoot guns. Yeah, that's more of a function of just what we're on our 4th generation of completely spoiled Americans that never had to really do much in life. I was able to save my own ass multiple times by documenting everything. And honestly, it's getting to the point where I want to punch these people in the face. I can't really afford to quit this job right now as nobody's willing to hire me for my traditional position, despite my accumulation of experience. My parents were both laid off due to the pandemic, so I'm currently living at home paying the bills. It's a fucking remote position and bullshit still happens. I'm sick and tired of documenting in case bullshit happens in the future. Get used to it, man. Get used to it. I talk to these people without being rude. How exactly should I respond to these people to show that what they're doing is trivial shit without potentially having to be fired? Well, stop. You're not going to show them shit. You're not going to prove them wrong. I'm going to assume these people are older than you. And get to some details later. And you majored in a rather, here, let's talk about this again. Do you have a high IQ? You probably did, given what you majored in. And again, I'm trying to keep you anonymous. Forget whether it's government work, corporate work, whether it sounds like a cackle of middle-aged women working at your office or bitching and whining about but it could still be men. All right. Doesn't matter. Point is, you're over here on the Bell distribution curve. You're probably way over here. And what is trivial bullshit to you and trivial bullshit in the real world is the most important thing ever. For example, I had a client. She was, how can I put it without identifying? She was in the military part-time. She had a legitimate degree. And she was working, I think, at a cell phone kiosk or a cell phone sales. But now that's about the bottom of the barrel. I'd rather work fast food than the cell phone kiosk. And yes, she was female, and yes, she was of a minority race, and it sounds like the majority of her coworkers were also the same. And she was like, well, Tina was saying this. And I said, girlfriend, you better look out. And they weren't respecting me and anything like that. I mean, like the stereotype. And I said, hey, whoa. I'm like, you are currently in the military. You have a legitimate degree. One, why aren't you applying for better jobs? Number one. Two, I said, you're smarter than this. And you're lying with the dogs, you get fleas. Okay? I said, look, these people are, who cares if Shaniqua disrespected you, y'all? Who cares if Tiffany or Amy was talking sass on the, who gives a shit? Like, do you want to mire yourself in crap? Hey, let's go swim in shit pond. It's right down from the sewer. And I think there's a little bit of this. You're not, and I'm kind of like, look, you go there to make your money and then get the F out. Okay, that's every job. Right? Every job's going to have its BS. But here, man, you're not going to prove people wrong. And that was what it's like, well, how do I get whatever, Francesca, to understand that she's wrong and I'm right? I'm like, you don't. Francesca is a fucking idiot. As is everybody else working at the cell phone kiosk. And everybody working at your job is a fucking idiot, especially compared to you. And these people have nothing else in their lives but to one-up people at the office and get respect. It's again, in World War I, do you want to be fighting in the trenches or do you want to fly over all that crap? Although the fighter pilots did have a very high death rate too. And so don't show them what they're doing is trivial shit. Yeah, you and I don't know how old you are. You and your 23-year-old ass is going to convince a 45-year-old Karen who's been stuck in the government position her entire life. And this is all that she has in life. And then she goes home to her cats and her wine. Yeah, you're going to convince her that because Amy took an extra ream of paper that it's like, hey, give it up, Karen. Who cares if Amy took an extra ream of paper? Oh, you don't understand how important that ream of paper is to Karen. That's all she has. And so, one, you're not going to fight this. Just don't try to prove it. But two, absolutely document everything so you don't get potentially fired for trivial bullshit, which in their world is not trivial bullshit. So then I ask, well, give me a breakup. Are these majority women or is it everybody? Because it would matter. If it's guys, you could maybe, depending on the type of guy, you could go and like have the man talk like, hey, what is your problem with me? Let's go get a beer. But if it was a bunch of women, bunch of Karens, F no, man, you're not gonna break through that. Also, how do you get in trouble working remotely? Not that I'm blaming you. I'm just trying to figure out the nature of the complaints. Again, try not to identify you. Okay, everybody, mostly boomers and Karens. All right, that is the most dense, thick lead skull. You will never it's impervious to anything. You could have a laser rail gun, which I don't think is a thing. A James Bond villain laser from outer space will not penetrate that. All right. So that explains the petty catty bullshit right there. It also explains you're not going to, it's not going away. You're not going to change their minds. Right. So that's another thing. Use a particular meeting group software. All right, your supervisor's a Karen. She gives you contradictory orders. I don't want to give the example that you're giving, but yes, this is standard boomer operating procedure. Do X, you do X. Why are you doing X? I told you to do what? Well, no, right here's the email. And just one of the main. Yeah, it also, like, if your boss is that delusional, I've had several bosses like that. Some of them like are mentally ill. I don't mean like they're schizophrenic, but like they will literally say X, and you have to have it emailed. You have to have it documented. say, okay, you said to do X. Why are you doing X? Here's the email dated this time and that date. And I'm sorry, man. That's part of your job now. Is you got to document everything. Contact me through email. So I have a backup. I have a record. Ever since then, I don't put any more effort into the job. They can't see me, so I work on other projects during my 8 hours. They haven't fired me yet. I will occasionally get to work to get things done. You could just really finish it in a few hours or so. All right, it's pretty hard to get fired from a government job. So there might be a union you can join or something like that. But you graduate with a very good degree. You don't plan on going back to school. Not worth it. Well, is this it? Because you're not finding a job because your degree is too general. It's very STEMmy, but it's too general. You need something more applied. So I would go into what your favorite project is and get a certification. Microsoft offers one, I think, for relatively cheap. Or I would go and do another thing involved with your main thing. And I think you know what that means. You work in insurance. And I'll also tell you this, man. This is likely your first job out of school. Yeah, it sucks. Don't fall into the trap, the lie that there's a better job somewhere or the grass is greener on the other side. This is pretty much what it's like all over the place. Now, your boss seems a lot contradictory. And this is a temporary thing. But, man, look, do you want to do it the easy way or the hard way? Because the hard way is like, I'm not going back to school to get certified in something that might actually land me a job that pays a lot of money and kicks all these Karens out because it got too much math in it. I want to stay here and find another job. No, go back to school, please. I'm not saying you got to go get a master's or anything like that, but you got to get a certification. You got to go and get some kind of accreditation. So, no, I can do these things. Because the hard way is like, I don't want to go back to school. I'm going to stay mired in this world. Well, have fun. You get your ass back to school. You don't want to. You do it. But you're naive is the other thing. This is your first job out of college. And, dude, this bullshit everywhere. And so how do you deal with it? Number one, you acknowledge it's everywhere. Dude, do you know how many banks I worked at? Think like, this is crazy. You guys are fucked in the head. You're making loans to morons. I'm going to go to the other bank. They can't be that stupid. Oh, my God. You guys are worse. You're making even dumber loans. This guy, I'm having bad luck. I go to the third bank. And when you find out, it's not you. It's the bank. And it's nothing to do with luck. It's the industry. It's the population. It's the people. Americans are fucking morons. And worse, they're lazy morons on top of it. And about the only thing you can maybe improve would be like not work for the government. Okay, maybe that might improve it a little bit, but not a lot. I don't know how many times. So that's one thing to deal with bullshit is realize there's going to be bullshit no matter where you go. Second thing, do exactly what you're doing. Document everything. Document everything. So you make sure that you got yourself a lawsuit that you can bring unlawful termination, I think it's called. Talk to an employment lawyer, not me. I don't know about those things. But absolutely, it saved your ass once. Get used to that, dude. Get used to it. Number 3, do not lie with dogs lest you want to get fleas. Don't get caught up in the drama. Don't get caught up in the bullshit that Amy used an extra ream of paper and now Karen is pissed off and LaDasha is now filing a harassment suit. That's not, you go there, you get your money, you get out. I mean, if you're really having trouble with Karens, go work in the trades. Not a lot of Karens there. A lot of Biffs, a lot of Charlies, regular old guys. I don't know what you call a regular old blue collar guy. And then how many of 3? You're always applying for another job. Wait till you get a better job. And not only do you get a higher paying job, but you can negotiate. Like, yeah, I get to work from home. And that's another thing is where I think I could tell this is your first job. You get to work from home. Holy Christ, you don't have to commute. You think this is bad? Imagine if you had to commute an hour each way, pay for parking, walk through the cold, and then deal with this bullshit. What if you had to deal with them in person? What Gen X and baby boomers had to do. Oh my God, it was horrible. Where's that report? I emailed it to you. Oh, why can't you print it off? Well, because you said you wanted it emailed to you. I mean, there's a piece of me I wished I just got up in my boomers' bosses' faces, like, and just ripped them a new one in front of everybody. And like getting him in the office, like, if you dare fire me, I'll sue the motherfucking piss out of you. Shut the fuck up and let me do my job. But it's too late to do that now. So another thing, you're always applying for jobs. And then the best, you don't want to deal with bullshit at work, ladies and gentlemen. You really want to deal with bullshit at the office. Here's what you do. You become indispensable. You become the person that the employer needs more than the employee needs the employer. Like a heart surgeon, or a highly qualified software engineer, or the indispensable IT guy, or the CPA, or you join the 1099 superior race, right? Where you got recruiters banging on your door. Hey, we want you to come work. Would you like to come work? Start a side gig, get a side business going on, like I did. Even though it was ballroom dancing and online finance classes, it was a side gig. So if my bosses ever got too lippy or outright illegal, well, I'm going to approve the loan anyway, and maybe you could fudge those numbers, I could say, fuck you. And by the way, I'm reporting you to the OCC or Office OCC, Office of Comptroller of Currency. But just make it so you're indispensable. Like you're paid $100 an hour to be a programmer, a CPA, an actuary, a surgeon, whatever. And so if some fucking Karen, some fucking low IQ, lowbrow moron comes in, well, you didn't get that ream of paper, you'd be like, really? I'm getting called into the up. Yeah, I'll see you. Bye. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. JL, just kidding you there. Yeah, we like to joke. And I know Karen complained about you taking that ream of paper, even though you really needed it. And I should question because you're paid $500 an hour as a brain surgeon. But I'll just let you do what you want there, JL. Yeah, don't quit on us now. That's how you avoid the bullshit. You become more valuable than the employer is to you. Oh, and by the way, minimalism. I got a course on minimalism. I'll be offering that. You know what? Maybe I should offer that. I should fire that up on like the 22nd or something, or 25th. Yeah, so I'll make the announcement. We'll do a minimalism seminar on the 25th. Haven't offered that in a while because I've been so damn busy. Just make it so you don't have debt. Make it so you have very low living expenses. Make sure you have a micro fuck you fund of 3 to 6 months living expenses. So if Tammy or Tiffany, somebody else having a name that ends in a vowel, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And here's my 2 weeks notice. Bye. But. You don't have to deal with it. 59 comments already. What we got for super chat? Chris is Black, our tornado chasing agent in the field. He sent me a couple. You saw a good wedge tornado there down in Mississippi. Good morning, St. Clair. How's your day going? It's going good, but pretty shitty. I can't shake the preponderance of amount of responsibility and bullshit I got right now. I swapped out some oil in my motorcycle so I can ride it out to South Dakota. Swapped out? What do you mean swapped out? I took a quart size shampoo dispenser actually, and I just pumped out because I don't have my lift anymore in storage to lift up my motorcycle to do oil changes and things like that. And a trick I learned out in North Carolina is I got this empty quart at Walmart, just a quart bottle with a squeezy top on it. And I can pump out a quart of oil, goes into the squeezy bottle. Then I get a new quart of oil, I put that in. Then I take the old oil from the squeezy bottle, I put it in the now empty bottle of the quart. And then I take that to get recycled. And it's just a way to extend your mileage another 500 to 1,000 miles, swapping out a quart of bad oil for good. And then when I get to a garage where I have my tools, then I can do a full oil change. That felt better today. Going to O'Reilly's Auto Parts, that felt like, I'm a man now. When you go into the parts store, an Ace Hardware or a Homey Depot, you feel like a man. And I didn't want to do asshole consulting today, but I got to do it because I got to go to Wisconsin. Alex Patino, our truck driving agent in the field, $5 to be fair. Everyone went to the same indoctrination institutions. That's why BS is the same everywhere. Yeah. There's you got a good point there, Alex. Not only is everyone lazier, dumber, stupider, more spoiled, they got the exact same indoctrination. Not necessarily to be perfect working cogs, but to think that they're amazing and going to achieve great things with their 2.8 in women's studies or organization management, So Sam, thanks for the $15. That, you know what that is? That might be Pokeball. It might be Pokeball time today for Captain. Cappy, what are your thoughts on the FIRE movement? FIRE, is that the early retirement extreme? FIRE movement. Financial independence yet retire. Yeah. Early retirement extreme. I got a book. I don't have a copy of the book here. Yeah, I'm all for. What do I think about it? I practice it. Yeah. Look, it's not money, it's time now, guys. All right. Get sanity is the future of wealth. And I talk about how, like, dude, we've never had it so good. Like, food is practically free. Rent, not so much, because we made money printer go burr. You don't have to go to college anymore. And if you want to go to college, you can do it pretty cheap now online or going through community college. You don't need that much money to retire. You don't need to borrow money for cars. You don't need to get fancy clothes. You don't have to go to high-end restaurants or bars or parties or nightclubs. You don't have to travel. If you want to travel, you can travel cheap. So the emphasis should be on time and freedom and living your life, not how much money do you make, not being a bunch of these Karens with their masters in public health administration or whatever the heck department he's working at, getting upset that Amy stole a ream of paper. And the quickest way to do that is to become a minimalist. Absolutely. So I got a book called Poor Richard's Retirement that goes over the philosophy of that and with some practical applications. But if you really want to get Jacob Lund-Fisker's book, Early Retirement Extreme, and he goes through the math, a lot of math. It's basically a big mathematical theorem that he provides. But yeah, am I for freedom? Why, yes, I am, Sam. I am for freedom. I am for telling boomers to fuck right off, let alone anybody else who thinks they're going to tell me what to do. And the quickest way to do that is not to make fuck you money, is to lessen the amount that you need to make fuck you money. And then people they'll make fun of my 2003 Chevy Silver. Oh, God, let me tell you the times back when I was in my 20s. Why do you have two shitty cars? Why don't you get one good one? It's like, well, even these two cars combined would result in a really crappy Saturn. And if that breaks down, then I'm screwed. Whereas if I got two crappy cars, I had a $500 Chevy Caprice Classic one time. I got two cars. When one goes down, I got a backup. And since they're both such shitty cars, it costs the same to insure them because I only got liability insurance. Gee, Clary, why don't you go and loosen up today? Are you retiring early? Oh, we can't all be like you. I'm on my third divorce now, and she took me for half. Again. You sure are lucky, Aaron. Yes, luck. The vasectomy, the minimalism, the budgeting, the fiscal frugality. Yes, all luck, not choice, not sacrifice, not discipline. It was just luck. Chris is black for $2. Chasing your Wichita, Kansas tomorrow. Man, you are covering a lot of ground. Chris, you gotta, don't make your Instagram private, make it public. I'd like to share it with people because you got some really cool pictures of tornadoes there and some sunsets there. Very nice too. Tai Huando for €2. Bullshit is work. At work is like a casino. BS always wins. Yeah, it's that's what it is. You guys think there's like some magic land out there. It's not. The magic land is being self-employed, and even then you got to deal with bullshit. My God, teaching dance classes. Well, we had a complaint. What? Well, you had someone's kid running around and you told them to get their kid in line. Yeah, because you're going to have 20 other complaints of people who, if I didn't get the kid, well, we'd just like you to handle things diplomatic. Shut the fuck up. All right, any more super chats? No. All right, that's it. See you guys later.